Miles style. So September is PCOS Awareness Month. PCOS is Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. That is just as bad as it sounds. It's where you get cysts in your ovaries. Obviously, this is a woman's issue, but they wreak all kinds of havoc with your hormones, and it can just be really difficult to have children. It can be difficult to just really thrive, control your moods, all kinds of things. And it also predisposes you to having, ovarian cancer, heart disease. It just really drastically increases your chances of having that. So not a cool situation at all. So I guess getting to my role in the situation, basically I was diagnosed with PCOS in January of 2006. So that's a very memorable time for me because I was married to my wonderful husband in December of 2005. So you see where this is going. 1 month into our marriage, I learned that I had PCOS, or at least, well, at first it started as not ovulating at all, not having any cycles. And not to say we were trying to have children or anything immediately, but you kind of get married. Well, I got married to eventually do those things and start a family with this guy that I love so much. And, so to find out that was possibly not going to happen was devastating, to say the least. He was very supportive and understanding in the process. I think I was really a lot harder on myself. And it didn't help because I had a lot of doctors who just didn't really seem interested. Like, somehow they were just like, oh, well, I mean, you just won't have kids. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it was unreal. It really was unreal. And I eventually had to kind of accept the possibility of not having children. It wasn't without a fight, though. I tried birth control pills per my primary care physician. And that was the worst experience ever. I felt like I was seriously like going to die on that stuff. I was in the ER 4 times in 1 month on just one dose or one cycle of birth control. It was horrible. So good riddance. Ultimately, I found a doctor that had actually really looked in, saw the cysts, and made some really great suggestions about lifestyle changes, as well as offered me metformin, which is also known as glucophage. It's actually a blood sugar control medication for diabetics. And while I didn't have diabetes, there is connection with insulin resistance and PCOS. I had the best time taking metformin. It was horrible at first, gastrointestinal issues and everything. But when my cycle came back and my hormones were getting regular, I can't tell you, I never wanted my period more than I did at that time. And metformin did the trick for me. So enough about that. Fast forward to 2007. We had just moved to a new part of town. My husband and I had already accepted that I wasn't going to have children. While metformin was very helpful in regulating my cycles, PCOS still, it doesn't go away. So even when you have it sort of controlled, you can still run into fertility issues. There's a very high chance of miscarriage if you eventually even do get pregnant. So understand how it's like, I just wasn't out of the woods yet. And I had just had to accept that it may not be a possibility for me of having children. And well, let me just say, it wasn't like I necessarily wanted children or didn't. I was kind of indifferent on it. I was 23 when I got married. So do the math and you'll see how old I am today. But I was 23 when I got married, and you just kind of know eventually you want to do that. It's just not at this moment. But I suddenly kind of got catapulted into this, do you want to try or not kind of thing, because I kept being told that if I even do have children, it's best to try now because it'll only get more difficult as I continue, throughout my life. So, yeah, I mean, it's sort of just, it's not uncomfortable, but it brings back a lot of memories of a lot of the difficulties, the long nights. It got so bad once that, being around my friends' children, being around just people that, a restaurant and they have their kid with them. I mean, it really got kind of hard because I just knew that I wasn't going to be able to give that to my husband and to myself ultimately, and that was really hard to accept. He was really great about it, but more so because he was so optimistic. And I love that about him. I guess opposites attract because I am totally a glass half empty kind of girl. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's just always been kind of how I am. So again, fast forward to 2007, and we are, getting acclimated with our new place. I decided to go to a fertility specialist who also was just a typical GYN in my neck of the woods, and went on ahead over to her. And I had got all these pamphlets about all this different poking and prodding they could do, and all this money was going to cost. And I was totally freaked out for a number of reasons, especially because I hear it just doesn't work. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. It's just no guarantees. And well, we didn't have a lot of money because we were young, and yeah, I mean, $20,000-$30,000 doesn't just fall from a tree. So there's that. So went to that appointment. My first consultation, they just happened to get my levels and everything together. And well, lo and behold, I happened to be pregnant, like out of nowhere. I swear it was like immaculate conception. I know that sounds so crazy, but I must say I'm the proud mother of an almost 7-year-old. And what's so strange is that, we had him. He's a great kid. He really is. Handful, no doubt. But I just couldn't believe it. It's like, it was surreal. It really was. We had been through so much. He's really my miracle baby. He always will be. And then, speaking of baby, my husband is like, yeah, well, we don't want him to be an only child. And well, he's so active and fun, and well, we just weren't finished. So he's like, yeah, you want to try for another baby? So I was thinking about how my son had taken like, I don't know, 2.5 years to even like work out and all the deets, associated with that. So I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I said whatever, not expecting for it to actually happen. I kid you not, after all that difficulty on the first try, we were pregnant again. And I have another son who is now 4. So I have an almost 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. We are done now, so that works. But I just feel so blessed. I can give you the birth stories and all that on those kids because it wasn't easy. Trust me. PCOS played a huge part in some difficulties that I had along the way, as well as even postpartum. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But all in all, I just wanted to say that PCOS can be overcome. It can be managed. No, it doesn't go away, but you can manage the symptoms. It's all about finding that right treatment plan for you and just staying strong and staying positive. Thankfully, I had a support network in my husband and some of my friends. So that helped a great deal. But I just wanted to say that for all those women out there that either just got a diagnosis of PCOS or even know someone that has PCOS or has had, angel babies, or you're trying to conceive and PCOS is holding you back, there is hope. And it's all about finding your people, finding people that get you and understand your struggles. And even if they don't, just having people in your life that are willing to listen and understand. And I just want to say that I'm here. It was very hard. And I did spend a lot of that time alone. I didn't feel understood. People wanted to help and they just couldn't. And it's hard. It's rough. It really is rough. And especially at that time in my life where I felt like I just had the world, I had everything ahead of me, and to know immediately, like, no, actually you don't, and this is what's going to happen. And I'm just very thankful to have ended up on the other side with everything I always wanted. So I just want to say that, and I hope that, we just, in the comments, maybe you guys can chime in on If you know anyone with PCOS, if anybody has any questions about PCOS, I can also put some links down below so that if you wanted, to do any research and anything on it, you can do that. But I just wanted to let my soul sisters out there know that I'm here, and I hope to make some new friends. All right, YouTube. See you later.